welcome back to my channel and welcome to spring. Spring has sprung and everyone's really excited about it. I've been seeing lots of videos online about different spring recommendations and I've been picking up several to add to my TBR already, but I wanted to make a little bit of a different video because my spring currently that I'm experiencing is not like flowery and warm. I wanted to give some recommendations for rainy day reads because that's kind of what my spring has been so far. It's been a lot of rain, very much so. April showers brings May flowers, I hope. We're just kind of like in an in-between stage right now. Like the sakura cherry blossoms are gone, but the warm weather hasn't quite arrived, so I'm getting a lot of like overcast and cloudy days. Rather than fight this, I'm wanting to just kind of lean into it. I'm noticing books that I'm gravitating towards or have gravitated towards in the past where it's just like, it's raining, you're not going anywhere, you've got nothing to do, your plans were canceled. I personally like to lean in to the gloom, the melancholy, the atmosphere. I like to curl up with a book. I like to have a blanket, maybe some coffee or some cocoa, kind of just be in it. I also prefer shorter books with a little bit of thought-provoking, page-turning atmosphere. So those are the kind of recommendations I'm going to be giving you today, but I also will be having a different recommendation video coming out for book pick-me-uppers. Those are going to be books where if you're a rainy day reader that you want to have a pick-me-upper, you need a little bit of that sunshine and ray of happiness, I'll have a different recommendation video for you. Today, we're leaning into the melancholy, we're not fighting it, we're thriving in it. Let's get the recommendations underway. The first book I'm going to bring up is Warriors of the Wild. This is by Trisha Levenseller, and she is my 4-star queen. If you are just looking for a book that you want to read and have fun with, you're trying to pass the day by, you had plans and they were canceled, I suggest that is the day that you pick up Warriors of the Wild. I really liked the friendship dynamics in this story, and it also had a couple twists that, while I saw coming, I liked the unique take on those twists. Warriors of the Wild follows our main character as she's competing to become a full-blown warrior in this final trial. However, things do not go as planned, and then she's banished into the wilds until she can complete an impossible task. In the wild, she finds other people who have also been banished, and they kind of band together and become this small found family group and try and complete the task in order to return to their villages. The premise of this book is really simple. The plot really kind of ticks along at a really good pace, and as far as the melancholy vibes, that definitely comes into play as far as feeling jaded, unwanted, or not a part of a family, feeling othered. These characters are all dealing with different types of isolation, and I think it's a perfect rainy day read. Next is Tread of Angels. Okay, so this is by Rebecca Roanhorse, and this book actually is why I ended up picking up Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. It's a very short read, completely based on atmosphere and vibes. It's like a Western steampunk, but it's also a like mystery crime novel. There was just a lot going on, but it was good the entire time, and the chemistry between the main character and her love interest was phenomenal. I wanted to read a book entirely about that. I was given breadcrumbs, but I ate that up. This book also gave me the feelings and sensations of like watching a noir, and I just think that it would be perfect on a rainy day. You feel like even though you didn't get to go out and do anything, or like you're not feeling high energy because of the weather, you did accomplish something today. This is easily read in one go, and while it's not my favorite book of all time, it was so atmospheric and wonderful that I can see myself actually reading it again. Next up, I have What Moves the Dead. This is by T. Kingfisher, and actually this is empty because my partner is reading it. As soon as I finished this, I started recommending it to people. It is a Fall of the House of Usher retelling, and if you're not familiar with that, you are familiar with Edgar Allan Poe. If you are experiencing a rainy, gloomy, cloudy day, you can pick up Edgar Allan Poe anytime. What I really liked about What Moves the Dead, they made it really creepy and really atmospheric while also making a really likable main character. And while this is a horror book, I would say you're not really dealing with like a knot of dread while reading it, but instead a need to continue on and find out what is actually going on in this house. You have your main character who is summoned to this house to call upon old friends, and when they get to the house, they realize that one of their friends is really ill and is trying to figure out what this illness is caused by, what's going on in the house in general. I don't want to give too much away because it is such a short read and a lot can get revealed really quickly. I also loved the gender representation in this and the conversations. I just think it's a quick read, you're getting a lot done, and you're going to have a good time doing it. In that same vein, I'm going to give you another T. Kingfisher, and that is Nettle Bone. Nettle Bone is more fantasy-based, a little less horror, but there is some gore elements. Definitely look it up if you have different content triggers. I really enjoyed this, and despite some of the like darker elements that was going on, this feels very cozy fantasy to me, and it's short as heck. So again, high accomplishment rate on your rainy day. This is another book with lots of vibes, but it also has a very solid plot because of its small stature. I don't want to give a lot away. I enjoyed the pacing, I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the different relationships that came about between these characters. I enjoyed all of the little quips and dark humored moments that were in this book. There is so much to enjoy, and I really love the way that this feels like a fairy tale, but still has that gritty little bit that makes it more of a rainy day read. Then we have Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This is not my favorite V.E. Schwab book, but I thought that it was really nice and quaint, is the best way I can put it. I think that this is perfect for a rainy day. It's perfect for staying indoors and wanting to just be enveloped in a different place, a different world, and have a mystery to solve. Our main character also speaks exclusively through sign language, which I thought was a fantastic element to include, and I really liked how it was done. The book also has little illustrations, so it really is a quick read with lots of letters and different multimedia aspects to it. I think it kind of gets a bad rep because it's a V.E. Schwab book, so the standards are really high in a certain direction. People are thinking vicious, they're thinking darker shade of magic, but this is a middle grade read, and I think that it does a really great job of balancing the gloomy aspects of a girl going to a haunted house, but also some found family aspects and really just touching sweet moments within a gloomy world. Next up we have Wicked Deep. This is going to be a full-length novel, but it's going to be a standalone, and it goes so quickly. I constantly was guessing and wanting to know what was happening next. In this book you have a girl that is growing up in a small town on the coast of Oregon, and every summer there are boys that disappear and women that are believed to lure them into the sea. I really liked that I both didn't know who to trust in this book and wanted to trust everyone. It really gave you a sense of wanting to believe in this community, but also knowing that something definitely facetious was going on, and it's so beautifully written. I think that it's perfect for a rainy day, maybe a hot cocoa and this book in your hand. Then for people who really just want to have a short, quick read that is 1000% melancholy vibes, I'm gonna give you Always. This is by Yumi Yamamoto. I read Always quite a bit ago, but it still lingers in my mind. It's just one of those conversation books that just feels really relatable and also very raw and interesting. I can't give anything away about this graphic novel because I think it would give away the entire plot. The artwork is absolutely amazing. The words are really thought-provoking and well thought out, and I happen to also know that Yumi will be working on more of these books in the future, so you definitely want to catch up now, and a rainy day is the day to do it. Then I'm going to look absolutely nuts for my last book because I just told you that we should be leaning into the gloom. We should be just taking in the melancholy, and then I also am going to be talking about a book that I always have on hand, and that is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I'm so sorry. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you're so tired of hearing about this book, and I can't help you there. There's also umbrellas on the cover. This is a rainy day read. Yes, it has uplifting moments. Yes, there's found family vibes. Yes, I think it's the best thing to happen since Nutella. I have to also tell you that it has the gloomy, melancholy aspects. Our main character has a dark sense of humor. We have these very drab moments in the book where it's only contrasted by pops and flashes of color, and I just think that it's such a glorious book. Also, the beginning of the book is one that I notoriously don't care for. I don't care for the very beginning of Nevermoor, The Trials of Morgan Crow. I don't think that the first few chapters really encapsulate what this book is, what it's about, what its actual atmosphere is. However, it is a perfect gloomy pick for a rainy day. If you're going to start Nevermoor, I think you should be starting on a rainy day. I think that this is the perfect rainy day read. I think that this is the perfect read in general, but I do think I can definitely sell you on this book within the first chapter if you're reading it on a rainy day. I have the third book, Hollowpox, here, but unfortunately books 1 and 2 I'm lending out to a friend because I'm going to convert all of you. I'm sorry if you feel tricked if you waited till the end of this video for some fantastic, mind-blowing new recommendation, but I'm not here to break any of my stereotypes today. Inconsistent, a little chaotic, and telling you to read Nevermoor, The Trials of Morgan Crow. Okay, I want to know some of your rainy day reads. What kind of books do you like to read on a rainy day? Do you prefer the uplifting books to help your mood? Do you prefer long books that take up your whole day? I honestly prefer shorter books. I like to feel like I'm still progressing throughout my day, even though I'm stuck inside, and that's why I chose shorter books for the list. But I would love to know what you think and how you feel down below, so go ahead and leave a comment if you'd like. If you don't, that's okay. Either way, I hope you're enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye!